Taking over the downtown waterfront is the first ever WonderFront Music and Arts Festival.
More than 100 bands are performing across several stages as water taxis shuttle attendees throughout the entire venue.
In the sun, the far in the night, garota brasileira dancing into the daylight. She's singing rebolado, don't know how but I try to. Seu jeitinho e o carinho, something that I'd fly to. Quer saber de onde vem?
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are with Ernie Hahn, the founder of Dream Hahn and co-founder of Wonder Bus Entertainment and the WonderFront Music Festival. So, welcome back.
A lot of wonders.
A lot of wonders in there. Yeah, well, you are a wonder boy.
Yeah.
The course of
that's a great intro for what was an amazing experience back in 2019.
Unbelievable.
I like to say it almost killed me. It
Well,
did.
luckily.
Yeah, it did. It didn't.
Yeah.
But putting on a festival is not for the faint of heart. And but this vision that we had going back probably 2010. After Street Scene was gone,
Yep.
To kind of create a version 2.0 on the water, and worked with all sorts of different cities and areas trying to find a spot, and literally back in about 2016-17 started dealing with the Port of San Diego, and thus the location that north Embarcadero into Seaport Village, where you found this kind of the epicenter of what is today WonderFront.
Well, I mean, you can't get much better, right? I mean, one of the greatest cities in the country, perfect weather. I mean, you've got so many things already in your corner there. So 2019 was it the first? The first one, okay, and tell us how you conceived that, because it is a big deal. I mean, I started my career at Disney and a lot of event management there, and I just remember all the resources that we had, and I mean, and you were just starting this from scratch with.
Well,
talk to us about that.
Yeah, well, it started with my partner and Paul Thornton,
Yep.
Brad Ralston, but Paul was and still is a big time promoter for 25, 30 years. So kind of amazing scope there to look at, somebody that we see eye to eye with, and then with my relationships here in San Diego and the sponsors and the partners.
Just all came together.
It was kind of a work in progress, and then worked with the Port of San Diego to put together and craft what was this amazing setup. Different things about WonderFront is in and out privileges. So we wanted you to come at this time of year in November. We're partners with TMD. And the city of San Diego, so that we wanted to bring it to this weekend, which is the weekend always before Thanksgiving, because that's the slowest weekend in San Diego. That's when
For tourism and
that's
travel.
when we need heads in beds, and it happens to also be one of the nicest weekends. So it averages 70, 72 degrees during that time period, whereas most of the nation, it's not nice. So bring them to San Diego for the weather, on the water, this one-of-a-kind festival location that I would put up against any location, and then bring together dynamic genres and acts that are something that would appeal to me and you and Sully, and then also our kids and our friends.
Absolutely.
So we had 7 stages the first year. This year we'll have 5 stages, 2 stages out at North Embarcadero, 2 stages at Seaport Village, and we have some amazing bands. You know, headlining on Friday night is the Zach Brown Band.
So
Saturday
much
night
fun.
is Kings of Leon. Sunday is Gwen Stefani, Cage the Elephant, and another
Echo
70
Smith,
acts.
yeah.
75 acts on top of that, and
Amazing.
something for everybody. So
wait, can they go to WonderFrontMusicFestival.com?
WonderFront Festival. Yep, WonderFrontFestival.com.
Okay. Weekend of November 18th.
18th to 20th.
San Diego.
And it's Instagram handle, you know, WonderFront Fest. So you can really
Amazing.
find something for everybody. But it's a great one to support, and ultimately to be able to go in and out of the festival and enjoy the city of San Diego at the same time is special.
So great. Ernie, so good to have you here. Thank you so much. You guys have been watching Ernie Hahn, so check it out and come over to San Diego in the fall. All right, Ernie, thank you so much for being with us today. Just amazing story you have. And so all the viewers, you can find Ernie and the WonderFront Festival at WonderFrontFestival.com and pay close attention and watch this footage of the 2019 festival, and come on out to San Diego, November. All right, thanks, buddy. Take care. right. What a fun segment with Ernie Hahn and talking about the WonderFront Music Festival held in sunny San Diego the weekend of November 18th. So be sure to join us if you want to get out and about. It's a great time to come. My next guest is Bob Machinist. He is the chairman and CEO of Troika Media. Bob, welcome. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me this morning. I'm certainly not going to be as interesting as a musical festival, I can assure you.
I don't know. I beg to differ with you. You are a jack of all trades. I have a question for you. Now, just a level set. I did see you on Big Biz recently, and that was a great segment. And we're not exactly that kind of show, but I need to ask you, just how do you go from chemist to private investment banker to branding media CEO? How does that work?
Well, you got to be old enough to have made it through enough different transition periods. But no, my background is somewhat eclectic. But I was a scientist by training originally. Mm-hmm. I went into the investment banking business in the mid 1970s and worked for all the major firms, or three of the major Wall Street firms. I then took over a public company in early 1980s, which I ran for 5 years, which became the largest public SBIC, and we converted it into an operating company. I sold that in the mid-1980s and went into business with a guy named Alan Patrikoff, who is sort of the grandfather of venture capital, and built Patrikoff & Co. Apex Partners for many years into a diversified international investment bank. And then I sold that business, my half of the business, to the Bank of New York, where I ran their investment bank and capital markets. And I've always been an investor and done other things as an operator, and had done early stage media deals at Petrikov, and then did a number of performance media related companies in the late 1990s into the early 2000s. Where I was chairman of a couple of public companies, sold them, and then 3.5 years ago, I was invited on the board of Troika, and after about 6 months,
and that's how it happens, right?
And
that's how it happens.
Stuff happens.
Yeah.
It's funny. We're doing the same deals for the same kinds of businesses, just with staggering technology differences 20 plus years later.
It is fascinating, So you got the left brain, right brain thing going for you.
Well, I do a number of things in the course of my, as Sully knows, I know I've told this on Sully's show, I've been a race driver and motorcycle racer for 40 years. And I've been involved in the car business. And I'm the vice chairman of Maimonides Medical Center in New York, which is the largest hospital system in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's quite the resume.
So, well, all it is you're as good as you're prepared to learn new stuff. And if you have really smart people that you're working with, they're really interested in teaching you what they have to say.
Such a great mindset. Such a great mindset, yeah. And it's a common theme, I think, the folks that we had on today, just like you, entrepreneurial in spirit, growth mindset, never fixed, always willing to learn more. So, well done for you. So Troika
listen, I appreciate it, and your background. You're in effect doing the same thing. You're
in effect, yes.
You're farming brains that are out there and picking up what you can learn, and then, as I like to describe my job overall, is the game of whack-a-mole.
I play it every day with my email. Yes, I know it.
Exactly. So you do whack-a-mole, and most importantly, in terms of being in the deals business, there's a game that you play that was Zebra. I played with my kids, which is you have all these animal cards, you turn them over, and then you flip up a card.
The memory game. That was a great
right,
game.
And you have to remember where the other zebras were, or whatever the animal was that was missing.
Yeah.
But the key to being in the deals business is understanding the deal that you're starting out with, figuring out what's it like and why it would be complementary, and then bringing in that knowledge base and having the capacity to basically embrace those people who are better at what you're doing to bring that skill base to your organization. And hopefully the people that you bring in will be the people that can replace you and realize the value. So
at Troika Media, so it's a NASDAQ, the ticker symbol is TR, I'm going to get this right, TRKA.
Yes.
Yep, okay, great.
And we went public a little over a year ago in April of 21. And since that time, and we were about a $40 million business, we've done a couple of acquisitions, and most recently, we closed a very large deal about 45 days ago for the acquisition of a company called Converge, which is...
So Bob, hold that thought. We're going to be back in a minute with you. Folks, don't go away. We're talking to Bob Machinist, CEO, Troika Media. I'm Trish. You're watching The Hunt.